Coming to you live from the Elliott Avenue Studios, this is The Barber Shop. Brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail, the official auto detail provider of the Seattle Seahawks. And by the Trufant Family Foundation, an organization aimed at improving the community one kid at a time. With Marcus Trufant, here's T. Holla.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Barbershop Show. My name is T. Holla.
And yes, it's Marcus Trufant. What up?
And we are glad to be back here with you. Thank you for joining us once again. We got a hot show lined up for you. Quick and to the point, we're going to be to it, man. Because we got responsibilities, man. We are fathers.
We got things going on. We are
black fathers to active young black children, and we got places to be and things to do, man. We don't want to leave our kids out there stranded at soccer practice.
Can't do it.
Yep, don't want to do it. But we got a hell of a show lined up for you tonight. This barbershop is brought to you by Rich Hunt at Home Trust Financial, MMLS 1761573. Down there in Kirkland, Washington, creating clients for life through education and trust. Thank you guys for being there for us. True, hell of a week, man. You've been all over the map, man.
I've been city to city, man. Kind of, well, not necessarily city to city, but I taken a couple plane rides. So with the family, went down to ATL.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Check out Baby Bro, man. And that was a great trip, man. When him and his new family, he has a new son.
Yes, yes. By the way, let's just make sure we get everybody on the same page right now. Marcus's younger brother, Desmond Trufant, for those who aren't aware, plays cornerback for the Atlanta Falcons. And, of course, last weekend, the Seattle Seahawks played the Atlanta Falcons. And there's obviously a link there between Seattle and Atlanta and the Trufant family. So True made the trip down there to check out Baby Bro Des. And he has a young kid. How old is the baby now?
The baby is 5 months and some change, I think.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It's a baby.
Yes, it's a baby. Baby boy.
Yeah. So how was that, man?
It was good, man. It was good to get down there. I wasn't sure what to expect from the weather, but it was a little rainy actually when we first got there. But the sunshine came out. It was nice down there. It's beautiful down in Atlanta, man. A lot of good stuff going on down there, a lot of good food.
That's the main thing I wanted to ask you about, True, because I know, we went to Atlanta, what was that, 2 years ago or last? I think it was 2 years ago.
Yep, 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago for a Seahawks playoff game. And I know that I do this all the time because Atlanta's one of my favorite cities in the country. It's like every time I step off the plane at Atlanta Hartsfield Airport, it's like a homecoming, man. I get off the plane and it's like coming to America. Like they laid out a whole bunch of roses for me and I'm walking through the airport and I'm just seeing all these darkly packed people, man, and it's just like they looking at me like, welcome home, my brother.
Right. That's the feeling you do get down there, man. There's black people everywhere doing a little bit of everything, and it's pretty refreshing. Yeah. It is refreshing. Of course, being up here in the Northwest, you don't get that. So you see black people from every walk of life doing every type of profession, and those are even some of the big-time professions, too, and that's good to see, man. It's good for kids to see. So I wanted to bring my kids on this trip, but they didn't make it. I kind of enjoyed that a little bit. But, yeah, I want to get the kids down there just so they can feel that, see it, and just see what it's about.
Yeah, and again, one of the things I like to do when I travel, especially to places like Atlanta, and we got a chance to do it a little bit last year. That's why I want to get your take on what you did this time is I like to go hit the food spots, man. I like to see what the local cuisine is all about. I like to think of myself as somewhat of a foodie.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I know you are too, though. That's what I'm saying. So I remember last time we were at the game, and I know we have special, unique foods at CenturyLink Field.
Right.
You know, you come to Seattle, you go to the game, you get the garlic fries, the chowder, stuff like that, right?
You know they got Ezel's up there now.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they got chicken and waffles. I had some chicken and waffles. It's chicken and waffles to go, so it ain't really like that, but, I support.
Yeah, but they got the real deal chicken and waffles in Atlanta, right?
They got, at the game, I didn't really get it like that, but, it's a Waffle House on every corner. I don't know if that count. But we went to Papados. We did it like that.
Man.
So, you know what I'm saying? That was lovely. I had the shrimp and grits and what else did I have? I was greedy. I did a little bit of everything. I had the crab legs and the po' boys and all. And what did I have? I had a crawfish bisque.
Ooh, the little soupy soup.
That was
so this is one thing, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Something I'll let you know about Marcus Trufant. I've gone a couple places with you. We haven't traveled that often together, but we've been. I think we went to Atlanta. I know we went to Arizona when the Seahawks played in the Super Bowl. I know this about True, and we did this with you and Jordan Babineau in Arizona. These guys are greedy, man. So what they'll do is they'll order all this food off the menu just because it all look good, right? Because I look like I want this, and I want this, and I want this.
Hey,
but I only want a little taste of it.
You got to taste it, baby.
I just need a little taste. I don't need much.
That's it.
So, yeah, glad you guys had a good time. Got a chance to see the family. Little bro didn't get a chance to play. He's out right now. He's dealing with, a foot injury?
Dealing with a little turf toe, yeah.
Turf toe, and that is no joke, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever
had it. I say little turf toe. No, I haven't had it, but I know it's a real deal injury. Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough. I've had a little bit of turf toe, and it's nothing to play with. People I was like, yeah, your toe? Like, listen, man, when you playing something, especially like football, it all starts from your feet, man. You can't do anything when your feet are messed up. So I'm glad to hear he's in good spirits, taking care of the family. We can't wait to see him get back on the field. The game, though, you were obviously at the game. I want to talk to you about this one because it was kind of weird for me, especially sitting back here at home in Seattle watching it from my couch. I watched half of it on my couch. I watched the other half at my son's soccer game.
Okay.
On my phone. I had my phone in my hand and my earplugs in, so I was doing exactly what I should not have been doing.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
But, yeah, the Seahawks came out, True, guns a-blazing. First half, they looked unstoppable, 24-0. Russell Wilson was on a tear. He was looking like his MVP self. Defense was smashing, doing their thing. And then halftime comes, and the Seahawks were not so much blazing anymore, man. So the final score, at the halftime, it was 24-0.
Yes, it was.
And
but I was getting bored at the game.
Yeah, I can imagine you were. So I want you to kind of paint the picture for me. And I know you were you're always in that space when the Seahawks play the Falcons,
Right.
Mostly Trufant, but you still got that Seahawk connection. So what was it like for you sitting there watching that go down?
Well, I was neutral. I usually outfit in a Falcons jersey with the Seahawk hat.
Right.
That's how I usually get down. That's how I do it here at the home games. But this one, I came neutral, so I came with my Tacoma hat.
Oh, yeah, T-Town.
So I was repping T-Town. But the stadium is beautiful.
Yes.
It is beautiful.
Was
man.
it's not your first time being in Mercedes, is it?
No, that's not my first time. No. I've only been there once or twice, but it's nice, man. It was beautiful. The crowd, I know you want me to say the crowd was crazy. It was loud. No energy.
No, zero. Huh?
Zero energy.
It seemed like from watching on TV there were a lot of empty seats. Was there?
Yeah, lots of empty seats. It was just crazy. I'm used to being at games here at CenturyLink, and we're spoiled on all levels. And the 12s got something to be proud of. And I know the Falcons fans, they party in the stadium and they do it like that, but the season ain't really been going well, so I guess I can call them fair weather because they wasn't in there like that, man. Right. It was crazy, but so just the energy was a little bit different, man, and it was just quiet, and you could hear the quarterback.
Oh, wow.
Hut.
Yeah. All the stuff, yeah. You don't never hear that at CenturyLink. Right.
But it was the energy was still kind of there because you're at an NFL football game. But just like you said, the Seahawks was rolling in the beginning, and it was just like it was going to be one of those games where it was going to be a complete blowout. So
right.
I'm watching the game, but I'm kind of on social media. You got Matt Schwab is out there.
Hell no.
And I was thinking that Matt Schwab might come in the game and might be able to do something, right? Because Matt Ryan is the guy, but he irritates me so much just because he's up and down so much. He got all this firepower.
No, you ain't mad at Matty Ice.
He really don't put it together for me. So I was thinking, okay, this guy's gonna come in. He's just trying to make his mark.
Right.
It's his time to shine. It really didn't go that way. Just looked nasty early early in the game, and the defense was putting it on them, and it was just all the way around. The Hawks looked like they was going to run away with it. The defense definitely couldn't stop Russ on those guys, and again, Carson is running around. You got Metcalf is out there, big body and cats.
Yes.
And you got Russ and Tyler Lockett. The connection is just one of those things. It's like, I mean, it can't be stopped right now.
Yeah. So I want to ask you too about that Tyler Lockett Russell Wilson connection, man, because early in his career we saw some flashes from Tyler. My personal take on Tyler when he first got here, I thought he was going to be, a special teams kind of a specialist, like a guy that would be good on kickoffs, and he is, obviously. He does a good job on his punt returns. But the wide receiver position was held down by Doug Baldwin. He was the number one guy for years and years. Did you foresee Tyler Lockett becoming the force that he is? Because I'm looking at him right now. He's one of the top receivers in the league, bar none. And he's usually the smallest person on the field.
Right.
So what do you make of that Tyler Lockett, Russell Wilson connection and the way that he's progressed in his career?
I got to keep it real, man. I just say no, because in the beginning, just like you said, he really didn't get his opportunities as much as he's getting now. Of course, he was doing all the special team stuff, and we saw the flashes, but we didn't get to see it on a consistent basis. So this dude is doing his thing, man. He's making the most of the opportunity. He can play all the positions. He can go inside. He can go outside. And he's a guy that's not going to drop the ball, and he's doing things right. That's why I think Russ is so confident in going to him. He's in the right place at the right time. He's running the right routes. He's changing routes in the scramble situations and doing stuff all at the right time. So it's really not all about his talent, even though he has tons of it, but he's a hell of a smart player too.
Yeah, I agree. Again, he's turned into to me a complete player, and he's diminutive in size, but that doesn't tell the tale. All the time. I think you see Doug Baldwin. He was a smaller guy, and he was one of the most effective, prolific receivers that have ever played for the Seattle Seahawks. I think right now, Tyler Lockett is tearing the roof off the NFL with what he's able to do with Russell Wilson. And like you said, when plays break down, and you go into that second phase where we're scrambling and it's a scramble drill.
Yep.
I think that's when they work best. I think him and Russ are on a different level. They're on the same page. They have like some kind of mental like they can read each other's mind or something, man. But I think again he's taking his game to the next level. Another guy that is really taking his game to the next level right now is Chris Carson. And I said this on social media during the game, and I actually said it during the first half when they were really rolling it and putting it to the Falcons, is that even if Chris Carson wasn't a Seattle Seahawk, he wasn't representing my hometown team right now, I would think and I would say that Chris Carson is my favorite running back in the National Football League right now, just because the way that he runs the ball.
Right.
And that's just the way that I like my running back to play. I like them to be physical. I like them to punish. I like them to run downhill.
Right.
And he has a certain combination of power, speed, and he's elusive as well. So what do you think about Chris Carson? I'll get your opinion on him. Like, as somebody that was playing defense right now, if you were in the National Football League and you saw Chris Carson coming around the corner, what kind of business decisions do you make?
Well, I was one of them DBs. I was throwing it in there anyway,
right?
Even if I was getting trucked. But it's not something, well, as a DB, I'll just say it. You don't like to see running backs like Chris Carson on a regular basis. You hope that the linebackers and the D linemen and everybody take care of that, and he's not in the secondary making us look bad and getting us on Sports Center and all that with the stiff arms and getting shoulder down to the ground. But Chris Carson, and I've said it before, I think I said it on the last show, this dude runs the ball disrespectful.
It's completely disrespectful.
Completely disrespectful. He's running through people, and he goes about his business. His showboating comes not in the form of, ball spikes and a bunch of talking and first down signals and all that. He just drops the ball and he walks back like you're not even there.
That meant nothing to me.
Like you don't even exist. Like that was too easy. And I love it too, T.
Yeah.
I like my running backs to be like that. If I'm on the Seahawks, I like to have that as a part of our team, and this is what we bring to the table. This toughness, we're going to go about our business. He kind of has a old school style of game, and I love it, man. And again, I'll say that outside of Russell Wilson, Chris Carson is the MVP of the Seahawks.
Yeah, and I'm glad you say that because I want to talk to you about that MVP in the MVP season. We discussed it last week, who was the MVP of the season at that point. And, we pretty much agreed that Russell Wilson is on a track to be the MVP of the NFL, the complete NFL, not just the Seahawks organization. Last week, he kind of fell off. I don't want to say fell off because they ended up winning, but he didn't have his most prolific day at the quarterback position when you take into account the second half versus the Falcons. Does this kind of sidetrack him a little bit from that MVP conversation, or is he still up there at the top, in your opinion?
In my humble opinion, T.
You humble now.
My humble opinion, I think he's still in the hunt, man. You go out and you get a W, and sometimes it's going to look a little nasty. And not that he had a terrible game, but it just wasn't the high-flying offense that we're used to seeing all the way through the game. But I think it was still a solid game. Russell Wilson manages the game better than anybody that I've ever seen, because when it's going bad and when it's getting nasty, this dude's confidence and the way he executes under pressure and in those situations when you need your quarterback to show up, that's where he really shines. So I think his run to the finish line to be the MVP of the league is still there. So I would still keep him up there.
Yeah, he's still up there for me too as well, even, taking in consideration that second half of the game. But, a lot of people are still looking at Aaron Rodgers as being the guy to beat. We'll see. I mean, there's still a lot of football left to play. We'll see what happens in this couple of games. The Seahawks have Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming up next, so we'll see what they can do against that squad. I feel confident that the Hawks will come away with a victory versus those guys in CenturyLink Stadium. So looking forward to a good game. Before we get off this, though, I got to go back to the running back conversation because I know I meant to ask you this question. Coming from a defensive guy who spent 10 years in the league tackling these running backs, as a guy like myself, who played the position for my entire life, I know who my favorite running backs are. I know who the guys I looked at and said, that guy is legit. Or like I studied the position, obviously, right? And I was just a fan of guys that played. I want to get your opinion, the truth with true. So we haven't done that in a while.
Hey.
So I figure, this is a section where we get you to tell the truth from a perspective of a guy who's been in the league for 10 years and done his thing in the locker room. It is the truth with true.
I know this much is true. I know you heard me on the radio.
True.
Yo.
In all of your years of playing football, who is your favorite running back to watch? Not just saying, hey, I like to play against that guy because I know I'm going to get my licks in on him, or I know I can dominate that dude. But I looked at that dude like, wow, this dude is doing something extraordinary. Extraordinary.
So is this past, present, future?
Well, I want to. First of all, let's narrow it down to this.
All right.
I want to narrow it down to the guy that you lined up against when you had your helmet and shoulder pads on. That you were like, okay, we got to bring it this game because this dude is going to give it to us.
Okay. Ooh, yeah.
I know there's a bunch of them.
And, I've in my time, I played against a lot of guys, a lot of guys that are wearing yellow jackets now, man. So I played against Marshall Faulk. I played against Emmitt Smith at the tail end of his career, of course. So we kind of put it on a little bit. So I got that. I got that in my little book. But, man, AP in his prime was tough duty.
I could
duty.
imagine.
This dude was big, so great size, like Chris Carson. Taller, of course, but 6'2"-ish, probably 220 and change. Mm-hmm. But this dude ran like a little dude at the same time when he needed to, and was fast as all get out, and would run you over and just be in the secondary all game, and I hated it.
Yeah.
I during those years, I would be in the game, and And those defenses weren't the defenses you see now. Shout out to all my guys I played with, Lofa and Leroy Hill and all those guys, but the defenses were different, and running backs used to be in the secondary a lot at times. So, shoulder surgery after year one for Young True, shoulder surgery for me after year two. So a lot of tackles playing against AB running backs like that was tough duty. So, and AP's still doing it. So I got to tip my hat to this man, and he's been through a lot, still doing his thing, but that dude was a monster, still is a monster, and it wasn't no fun.
You used to be back there like,
Oh, man. Hey.
I'd be like, somebody get him.
somebody got to tackle. Slow him down.
Yeah, please.
He was absolutely a beast. I couldn't even imagine being over there. Like you said, he was at full speed, man, by the time he hit the line of scrimmage, and he was, from my perspective, just as a fan and somebody who really studies the position, he was looking for somebody to run over early. And then when he wasn't able to run over you, he's going to run away from you. He had a really, really good speed.
It could really make you look bad. And I guess honorable mention, I played against Beast Mode when he was in Buffalo, too. So I got to give him a shout out. That's my guy. Dude was out there having hella fun. I say it like Marshawn. He's having hella fun out there.
Blood.
Hella fun. Had the gold grills in, smiling all game. It was a good look.
I love it. I love it, man. That's what it's all about, having a good time. And I want to remind you guys that this show is being brought to you by Rich Hunt at Home Trust Financial in Kirkland, Washington, NMLS number 1761573. They are creating clients for life through education and trust. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and chiming in and being a part of the barbershop. True. Something that happened just this week, man. And I think it happened probably like 15, 20 years too late. And that's the NCAA has decided they're getting on board with paying student athletes for utilizing their likeness and their faces and their images when it comes to college athletics. And here it is. I'm kind of on the fence with this thing in a certain way, and I'll explain to you why in a second. But first and foremost, I want to get your opinion on this situation. Again, college athletes are not necessarily, probably won't be this year, but at some point in time, the NCAA has gone on to say, hey, we're going to let these guys go out and market themselves. They could, be sponsored by companies or be sponsored by a brand or a product and make money. Now, when we sell, maybe I'm assuming jerseys or whatever it may be, shoes, and the players can now make money off of that. How do you feel about that situation?
I like it, T. I like it a lot, as a matter of fact. And like you said, you feel like it's 20 years too late, give or take a few years. I remember playing a game in college at my friend's house, the NCAA or whatever it's called at the time. And you played.
I think it was the NC2A, college football.
Okay, yep. And we used to play it all the time. Probably should have been in class, but we wasn't in class. We were playing a video game. But, yeah, it's going to be good, and I think it's going to take a while for them to work out the kinks. I don't know all the details, but I was told potentially that it's not really going to be a even playing field, that only the top tier athletes will be able to, of course, bring in the most revenue. So those guys that are barely on the team or don't have as much fame won't be able to reap as much of the benefit. I feel like more should be more of an evenly spread across the league or across these the colleges, so everybody kind of gets a fair shake. I think that's fair. I get that there's going to be different tiers and stuff like that, but they need to even it up a little bit.
Yeah, I agree 100% on what you're saying there. So, again, I think the NCAA, this is just the preliminary stages of it. I think by the time they get into it, they're really going to have to set up some systems and some boundaries on how this thing is going to work. Because it could, at the end of the day, result in some really unfair recruiting practices. If you think about it, some of the big-time programs that are located in maybe big-time cities, they'll have a much better opportunity to have things for these student athletes to market. So suppose you have a choice and you could go to school in Los Angeles.
Right.
And think of all the companies and businesses and products in Los Angeles that could reach out to a student athlete and say, hey, we want to pay you to be on our commercial. for whatever it may be that's out there, all the different car dealerships, or maybe it's a clothing company or a restaurant, whatever it might be. Think of all the opportunities that there will be for a student athlete, right? That's true. You can make a ton of money. So suppose that same athlete, maybe he really, really wanted, and I'm not saying this just because you're here, but he's had an opportunity to play for Wazoo. Damn. What are I'm being dead honest. So like now, what is he going to represent in Pullman? Like there's only a handful of businesses. There's only a handful of companies. You're competing with guys that are Fortune 500 companies in these major cities. That really is a recruiting advantage for some of these bigger schools and bigger markets, true?
We got Cougar Gold out there.
You going to get sponsored by the cheese company?
The cheese. We got a great agriculture program out there and communications program. So, hell no. But yeah, T, I feel you. So they got to work it out, and they're going to have to spread this thing out because, like you said, it could be unfair. It could be really unfair. Or they get creative and find a way. Maybe it's just not from the businesses. Maybe, I don't know, it's from something else, and people are just coming out their pocket. And I guess you don't want to get into the potential nasty side of it as far as like the boosters and the people out there that got deep pockets that want to see the school be successful and could set up something business-wise that could benefit the kid. I don't know. Right. So just like you said, it could get kind of nasty. It can get scandalous.
And that's why I said, at the end of the day, hopefully the NCAA is going to put the best and the brightest minds on this situation and use some common sense because, again, at the end of the day, it could be an ugly recruiting advantage for a lot of teams, and where now you won't have as much competition across the board as it is. And again, at the end of the day, here's my take on it. I just think that they need to find a way for these players to make more money and make it equal across the board. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that we should have an elite, like a franchise type player on my college football team that makes X amount of money the way that an NFL team would have, like a franchise player, somebody that's their guy that's making all the money on the squad. You should have something where it goes into a pot or a pool where it is spread out equally. I agree. And here's the deal. So a lot of people don't understand out there that are college football fans, and I used to be one when I was a kid. I used to love to watch college football, right? And I used to look at these guys playing on TV. I would watch, whether it was the Bo Jacksons and because I'm about to date myself, but the Bosworths and all those guys that are out there, the superstar college athletes. And I used to think, man, this guy's probably walking around school with a pocket full of money, driving nice cars, and, they having it their way. And then I got to college myself, and I was like, wait a minute, where the money in the cars at? Right. I'm like, I'm trying to scrounge and get a cheeseburger, really. Right. And so, and I want you to speak to that too. And I know everybody's situation is different. They come from different socioeconomic backgrounds when they get to college. You have some people whose families can, help to kind of support, their student athlete. Because that's the part I want to speak to. The tuition and the room and board that we get as college athletes, at least back in the day, they didn't leave you much wiggle room at all.
No, not much at all. I remember we had what we called the Cougar cards, and you can go to the little on-campus stores to get your little frozen pizzas and your little stuff like that. And I think this is freshman, sophomore year, and I was still on campus. But and you got your, was it 2 meals a day or 3 meals a day from what I guess the child hall or whatever. I forgot what it was called, the
training table or whatever you call it. Yeah.
Training table. So outside of that, if you wanted extra food, just like you said, T, there was really nothing left over unless you got moms to send you a package or to put something on your books or something like that. Real. And what I had to do, it came with a trade. I used to cut hair in order to get my little cheeseburger money and little stuff like that. And I didn't, I couldn't have a real job, right? Because you're there to play football, and that's why they give you a scholarship and all that kind of stuff. So they said you couldn't work, right? So I was cutting hair, man. Yep. It was tax free, so I was doing my thing. So
Uncle Sam, stay off a True's line.
to go back to what you said, it could definitely be an unfair advantage. But like you said, there has to be some type of pooling system, and I think the monies should come. Most of the funds should come from those universities. A lot of it shouldn't be coming from outside business. I know those are perks of being you and perks of your likeness, but those monies from those big institutions, that's where a lot of the funds should be coming from, because that's what the argument is, that these schools are making this much money and the kids aren't able to benefit from it.
Yep, I agree, True. It'll be interesting to watch how this thing plays out. We are just in the beginning stages of it. I think it's going to be a while before they probably get it all settled and wrapped up. But at the end of the day, like I said, I want these athletes to just get a little more than they're getting, so that they're not struggling, not having to make bad decisions. And ultimately, that's what I want to let the people out there that don't know understand. That's what leads to a lot of these bad decisions at times. You think about like Jameis Winston back in the day, allegedly stealing crab legs, or you hear about some of these guys that are signing with agents or runners before they're eligible for the draft and ended up screwing themselves up. Is because they need money. They want to eat.
Falling short.
And then it's not like they just walking around with Gucci and Prada, man. They're just trying to get an extra cheeseburger. So we'll watch how this thing goes. True. Before we get out of here, I want to talk to you about Pops. Now, Pops, when I say that, a lot of people don't know what I'm talking about, and they might think I'm talking about my Pops. And I do call my Pops Pops. You call your Pops Pops, whatever. But this week, we lost a legend. As a matter of fact, last night, we lost comedian John Witherspoon at the age of 71. And for those of you who don't know, Pops, we call him that because he was literally Pops on like almost every show, man.
That's crazy.
He is an icon. He's a legend in the business. He is, again, somebody that we know has given us some of the greatest lines in all of movie history, and it's going to be it's a big loss to the entertainment world and to the African American community, because he was somebody, again, that we all loved, all called Pops, and he dropped some of the greatest lines in the world. True. So I just want to send a special shout out to John Witherspoon and his family. True. When you think about John Witherspoon, man, and his contribution to the world of entertainment and comedy, man, what pops into your head? What are some of the first things and the most endearing things that pop into your mind?
Man, Pops, first and foremost, I think it's the longevity.
Yeah.
And the career that he built in so many classic one-liners and lines that stick with you, and you can go back and remember, I used to watch this when I was in college, or I used to do this when I was in high school.
Right.
Or I remember watching Friday, and we did this, and this is what happened. So he's especially people that are our age, kind of grew up with him.
Right.
Even though he was doing comedy before I was probably even born.
Yes.
Yeah, but I remember just all the work that he's put in, even with some new stuff, because he's on the Black Jesus and different shows, and he just goes to show and proves that that if you grind, man, you can really make it work. And I seen Pops live. I can't remember what show it was or who he opened for, but it was for somebody big. I can't remember whether it had to be Dave Chappelle or somebody like that, maybe a couple of years back. But Pops does his thing, man, and just like you said, man, shout out to family, kids and wife and all that kind of stuff, man. It's a tough deal, of course, anytime you lose somebody. So major shout out to the family. Yeah,
definitely shout out to Witherspoon and the family. I got to tell you something. I want to do this before we get out of here, man, because like I said, he was Pops on like so many different shows and
on the Wayans brothers and all that. I forgot about that.
This is what I want to do for you tonight, True. I want you to tell me, and I'm going to chime in on this too, which one of these is your favorite Pops? And I'm actually going to put this up on the Barbershop website, on the Barbershop Twitter account, and have a vote for it as well. Which Pops is most resounding with you? So, True, right out the gate, I want to get your opinion on this Pops?
Impressed you know that.
I know it. Now, where'd you get the mushroom shirt? I got to know.
Well, the secret is you got to coordinate. Most people don't coordinate. See, you got to coordinate.
Yes, that's what you did.
Yeah, but see, you can't stop with the mushroom shirt. You
Now,
gotta go on.
I'd have stopped that shirt.
No, you got to keep going.
Okay.
Now, let me show you something. Look at that.
Oh, you got on a mushroom belt. Gerard, did you know your pops had a mushroom belt on?
Yes. But you don't stop there, see?
No,
you got to keep
can't.
going.
What you got, a mushroom ring?
Yes, good idea. Look what I got.
Gerard, did you know on the inside was special mushrooms?
Yes!
Wow.
That is, of course, from the movie Boomerang, a classic Eddie Murphy movie. He was Pops with the mushroom belt, the mushroom coat. You gotta coordinate. He had the mushroom shirt, the mushroom belt, and the inside of the coat was mushroom. Man, I remember we saw that when I was growing up, and we fell all the way out.
Yeah.
I think that's, for me, I think that's even the most memorable part of the movie.
Okay.
And he was only in the movie for a couple seconds.
That's how Pops do it, though.
Yeah.
On everything, he leaves his mark. Definitely leaves his mark.
Okay, so there's that Pops. What about this Pops, True?
I grab a dog, and I choke him, and I kick the shit out of him. And I all day long, I foot up a dog's ass. Just bang, bang, bang up his ass. That's my pleasure.
That's, yeah, yep.
That is Pops from Friday. So many classic one-liners in that movie, man. Like,
never lets you down, man.
never lets you down. Every time I come in the kitchen, you in the kitchen. In the goddamn refrigerator. Classic one. So we got the Boomerang Pops. We got the Friday Pops. And then there's this one. Again, a lot of people forget about this one for whatever reason, but this was classic as well.
Let that sound echo through the night. The sound I hear when I'm holding you tight. My baby, you just rang. It's my love going bang, bang, bang. When my love goes bang, 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 you better run.
Hey.
Cover your steed. When my love goes bang, 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 it's gonna be you and me again.
Bang, bang, bang.
Pops.
That was, of
Pops.
course, the legendary Pops from the Wayans brothers, man. Just incredible. By the way, I got a chance to meet Marlon Wayans and hang out with him when he was in Seattle filming The Sixth Man.
Word.
And
okay.
literally the first thing I asked him was about Pops.
Okay.
I was like, dude, is Pops as funny in real life as he is on TV? He was like, this ninja is funny as hell all the time.
Every day, all day.
All the time, man. So those were 3 Pops. Mushroom Belt Pops. Friday, my foot up a dog ass Pops. And the Wayans brothers love to go bang, bang, bang Pops. True, which one is your favorite Pops?
Man, T.
I know it's tough.
It's tough. For me, the classic Pops off of Friday. Nappy head. Spray in the bathroom.
With some hot sauce on my burrito, baby.
Hot sauce. And I'm talking about all Fridays now.
Yes,
so
all Fridays.
Just not the Friday, but all Fridays. Pops was classic all the way through.
Don't listen. It's so crazy that even you just got regular, like middle class suburban people that still know, don't nobody go in the bathroom.
Yeah.
For 45,
45 minutes. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And one-liners that stick with you, T, and that's leaving your mark, man. That's talent.
Yes,
That's
it is.
talent.
It's a true talent, and we are going to miss that. So we want to put that up on our Barbershop Show Twitter page. Where's that at, True?
That is at Barbershop Show on
underscore.
Yeah.
Barbershop Show underscore on Twitter.
Yep. And at Barbershop Show on Instagram.
Yep, that's right. So we want to find out which one is your favorite Pops. Here's one that you might not know, True. I'm going to leave this for you guys as we get out of here. This is one of my favorites, and it goes way, way back before the Pop stuff. And it was really probably my first true introduction to John Witherspoon. And this was one, I bet you probably never even knew this one existed and where this line came from. But tonight you are going to learn where it came from, and it was here first that you heard it here in the barbershop. I guarantee you. Some of you true deep aficionados of the game are going to recognize where this came from. But it is something that people have been saying ever since, and he was the originator of it. Here is John Witherspoon talking about Winky Dinky Dog.
Bobby, you can create here. I created the Winky Dinky Dog. 100% beef. Winky Dinky hamburger. Winky Dinky donut. Winky Dinky dip. And I got a new one, Bobby. The Winky Dinky hoe cake. Hoe cake. Hoe cake. Hoes got to eat too, right? Right, you're right. That's right. Hoes got to eat. I hate to lose you, Bobby. Big thing coming up. Go and talk to him, man. Winky Dinky hoe cake.
That is what.
What's that from, T? Where's that from?
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
That is from the classic movie. If you have never seen it, you need to go find it somewhere right now. I own it. I had to go when it was available online. I bought it on DVD. Hollywood Shuffle.
Okay.
One of the most classic movies of all time, an underground cult classic from Robert Townsend. It was the start. That movie started the career of so many people. It was the first movie that featured the Wayans.
Oh, word.
It was the first movie that featured Keenan Ivory Wayans, Damon Wayans, young. They were young kids. You know what I'm saying? It even featured the sister was in there.
Okay, Kim.
Kim was in there.
Mm-hmm.
And, the young actor Robert Townsend, who is now a big-time producer. Robert Townsend from 5 Heartbeats and all those type of movies. Was the Meteor Man.
Yeah.
That was his first movie. He produced it and starred in it, and, they were all just really kids. And that's where the term hoe cake. Hoes got to eat too.
Hostess cake.
The line that Ice Cube used in Boys in the Hood, hoes got to eat too. That's where it came from, man. So go get Hollywood Shuffle. However you got to get it. Look for it on demand. Download it somewhere else. It's a classic movie. But again, rest in peace, Pops. Rest in peace, John Witherspoon, man. We're going to be sorely missing him. True, it was a great show, man.
Excellent show,
Thank
man.
you
It's
for
always
coming.
good, T.
Yeah, we had a good time in here. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Follow us on social media. True, where can they find us at again?
Barbershop Show on Barbershop Show on Instagram. Barbershop Show _ on Twitter. Check us out.
That's right. And don't forget to check out our friend Rich Hunt at Home Trust Financial, NMLS 1761573 out there in Kirkland, Washington, creating clients for life through education and trust. And make sure you tune in next week to all the great barbershop stuff. And you can follow us also on our barbershop group, the official barbershop page on Facebook. And that's where all the crazy stuff goes on, man. So we will catch you next week at the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
Until then, it's T. Holla and True, and it only goes down right here in the barbershop.
Let that sound echo through the night. The sound I hear when I'm holding you tight.